Imagine if I could make you, wait for it, drumroll please, disappear.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 teenage heartthrobs who voiced animated characters.
You talk. I'm a person like you.
For this list, we'll be looking at the hottest Hollywood hunks who have lent their voices to cartoon characters. These are celebs who were teen heartthrobs at one point in their career, even if they're not necessarily as highly sought after today. Let us know which star you had a major crush on as a teen in the comments below. Number 10. Johnny Depp as Victor Van Dort in Rango, Corpse Bride and Rango.
With this hand, I will lift your sorrows. Your cup will never empty, for I will be your wine.
Young Johnny Depp. That's it, that's the entry. Alright, just kidding. But seriously, Depp was one of, if not the biggest Hollywood heartthrob in the late 80s and early 90s. With great hair and cheekbones chiseled by the gods themselves, Johnny stole the hearts of teens and young adults alike.
You've made me the happiest juvenile delinquent in Baltimore. Guess what? I met a girl!
His breakthrough roles in A Nightmare on Elm Street and 21 Jump Street saw him cementing his status in the film industry and gaining recognition at a rather young age. Later on, Depp would establish himself in the realm of voice acting through characters like Victor Van Dort in Tim Burton's Corpse Bride and Rango in the 2011 film of the same name.
And remember, within all of us resides the true spirit of the Let's take it from the top.
Number 9. Justin Timberlake as Boo Boo Bear and Branch, Yogi Bear and Trolls franchise. If you were in a boy band, that pretty much automatically makes you a heartthrob. As the youngest member of NSYNC, Timberlake was a teenager himself when he became the object of infatuation of what was likely millions of teenagers. We've since watched that young man steadily develop both his music and acting careers, winning a plethora of awards and climbing all the charts. In 2010, Timberlake voiced young Boo Boo Bear in the CGI Yogi Bear movie.
Now we just wait here for a picnic basket to fall into our arms.
Are you sure about this, Yogi? People seem to get pretty mad
A
when
genius never questions his instincts, Boo-Boo.
He was also Artie Pendragon in Shrek the Third and currently plays the overly cautious Branch in the Trolls franchise.
Someday, when the Bergens find us and the survival of every troll is in your hands, I sure hope the answer is singing, dancing, and hugging, because that's all you know how to do.
Number 8. Jonathan Taylor Thomas as young Simba, the Lion King. Jonathan Taylor Thomas was the teen idol of the 90s.
Now I know where I got my global consciousness.
Freaking right, man.
Sitcom fans will remember him as the mischievous Randy Taylor on Home Improvement and Greg Brady's son in the Brady Bunch's spin-off show. Teens at the time totally fawned over the child star, especially as he went from a cute kid to an even cuter teenager.
Randy, while I'm gone, would you just promise me one little thing?
Oh, don't worry about it. I won't look at any other girls, except for maybe Tiffany Tucker, who's got that nice mole on her lip shaped like Idaho.
Thomas would eventually step out of the limelight, which is why we don't hear much about him today. If one thing's for sure, though, we'll always remember him as the voice of young Simba in Disney's beloved classic, The Lion King.
I walk on the wild side. I laugh in the face of danger.
Number 7. Ryder Strong as Tom Lucitor, Star vs. the Forces of Evil. If you were a fan of Boy Meets World growing up, we're willing to bet you had a massive crush on Corey Matthews' best friend, Sean Hunter.
Watch again. I'm still young enough I can do this twice in a row.
Sean, it's so strange. I was just thinking about you.
And that's without conditioner.
We're not sure if it's the hair, the smile, or Sean Hunter's whole vibe, but there's just something about Ryder Strong that had us absolutely swooning. And honestly, he still looks amazing. A whole new generation got to experience him as Tom Lucitor in Disney Channel's Star vs. the Forces of Evil.
I'm a changed man, okay? I've got a life coach, Brian.
Hey.
He's awesome. A happy bunny. And I have been anger-free for 53 days.
And if you're between both generations, you might recognize him as the voice of Brick Flag in Kim Possible.
You know, I think what you do is really amazing.
Aw, saving the world is no big.
I mean how you're always spelling stuff in your cheers. It's so C-O-O-L. That's cool, right?
Number 6. Zac Efron as Ted Wiggins, the Lorax. What time is it? Time to rave over Zac Efron, of course.
It's the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you.
From the moment the first installment of High School Musical aired on Disney Channel, preteens everywhere fell head over heels for Troy Bolton. He used to have that iconic shaggy hairstyle in the early 2000s, which we absolutely loved. Seriously, were you even a teen guy in the 2000s if you didn't have that hair?
She makes this feel so right. Should I go for it? I'm gonna shake this. Yikes.
Of course, he's since moved on to more mature dues, and remained the exact kind of hottie we have hard eyes for. A few years after the height of the HSM franchise, we got to hear Efron as the protagonist Ted in The Lorax, which, let's be honest, is why most of us watched it in the first place.
Ted, you didn't.
Oh no, I totally did. Happy birthday.
Number 5. Paul Rudd as Mr. Prince, the Little Prince. What kind of Top 10's YouTube channel would we be if we left the 2021 World's Sexiest Man off our list? Paul Rudd truly ages like fine wine, which means generations of adolescents have found themselves idolizing him.
I hear girls at NYU aren't at all particular.
You're funny.
Before his Marvel days, Rudd was a celebrity crush for so many of us who spent our teen years watching Clueless, Friends, and Sisters. His voice is a little difficult to pick out in animation right away, but once you know it's him, you can't unhear it.
Here, move over. Just a little more. Scooch, come on, a little more.
Can't go any more.
I know what'll cheer you up. Tell me the story of how we met.
I don't know if I'm in the mood. Just kidding, I am.
Oh, Tina.
That's the case for a few of his roles, including the horse Jericho on Bob's Burgers, and Mr. Prince in the beautifully animated fantasy adventure drama The Little Prince. As with everything he's part of, Rudd totally aces the whole voice acting thing.
I'm not hopeless. I'm hopeful. That's right. I'm full of hope. And I love a rose. And she loves me, and she's waiting for me.
Number 4. Michael B. Jordan as Julian Chase, Genlock. As far as animated sci-fi dystopian series go, Genlock is where it's at. The characters are full of depth, the visuals are stunning, and it features an all-star cast with none other than Michael B. Jordan in the role of the main protagonist, Julian Chase.
Set yield for low inductance. Stay on me, we're going to Brooklyn.
It's Hail Mary time. Copy that.
Cover me. Going in!
Jordan is also an executive producer on the series. With a plethora of credits under his belt, including soap operas, superhero films, and now animation, Jordan's range really knows no bounds.
Did I pass?
Flying colors.
What do I win?
Me.
Yes.
He was everything we wanted when we were young, and unsurprisingly, he still checks off all our boxes. Anyone know if Killmonger needs a partner in the upcoming Black Panther sequel? We volunteer.
You're not telling me that's vibranium too, huh?
No, I'm just feeling it.
Number 3. Tom Holland as Ian Lightfoot and Walter Beckett, Onward and Spies in Disguise. Although Tom Holland had a few notable acting accolades in his roster, it felt like he became an overnight sensation after the premiere of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Since then, the world has gone weak in the knees for this new generation's Peter Parker.
I guess you already have a date to Homecoming.
Actually, I'm so busy planning and I never really got around to that part, so.
You wanna go with me?
Yeah.
If Zendaya's got a crush on him, we have a crush on him. Holland is fantastic in absolutely everything he does, including his dabbling in the voice acting world.
I saw you out in the garden today. My mother, she told me about you.
He first came on the scene in the UK English dubbing of The Secret World of Arrietty as Sho or Sean, and has since moved on to bigger roles, such as Walter Beckett alongside Will Smith in Spies in Disguise, and Ian Lightfoot opposite Chris Pratt in Onward.
I've almost got enough saved up for a sweet paint job.
No, please don't.
Why not?
Because I already took care of it.
Number 2. George Clooney as Mr. Fox. Fantastic Mr. Fox. The stop motion count? Yeah, it does, because we would be hard-pressed to leave George Clooney out of any list with the word heartthrob in it.
Because I'm a wild animal.
You are also a husband and a father.
I'm trying to tell you the truth about myself.
Mr. Fox, more like a silver fox. Are we right or are we right? We could go on to name some of his biggest hits, but it's sort of pointless considering just how many there are.
You really are kind of a quote-unquote fantastic fox.
I try. Get enough to share with everybody.
What we will say is that young George Clooney in The Facts of Life is chef's kiss, unmatched, baby. The mullet really works for him, and it alone makes us want to bring back the 80s.
You're kidding.
No, now hey, they're big over there.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. John Travolta as Bolt. Bolt. Danny Zuko took the world by storm in '78.
There's no turning back. Guess I'll have to roll with the punches. Easy won't be part of the equation. Promise. Gotta warn you, going into the belly of the beast, danger at every turn. I eat danger for breakfast. You hungry?
Chris Pine as Jack Frost, Rise of the Guardians. Chris Pine is fine.
What's this clown know about bringing joy to children anyway?
You ever hear of a snow day? I know it's no hard-boiled egg, but kids like what I do.
Ryan Reynolds as Guy, the Croods franchise. A sense of humor is always attractive, but it helps when you look like Ryan Reynolds.
You think? Listening shells. Activate. I concur. Tiger Girl, we need to leave immediately.
Michael J. Fox as Stuart Little, Stuart Little franchise. Who didn't have a crush on him in Back to the Future?
I was just thinking, what, dear? That this is how people look.
At the end of a fairy tale.
Yeah. Exactly.
Brad Pitt as Sinbad and Metro Man, Sinbad Legend of the Seven Seas, and Megamind. Young Brad Pitt, that's all we gotta say.
Please, let's have a little respect for public transportation.
You came back.
You were right, Roxanne. I never should have left.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear. Lightyear. Is Chris Evans the most famous heartthrob on our list? Probably not, but is he our personal fave? You might say that. From Cellular, The Nanny Diaries, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World to Captain America, Gifted, and Knives Out, Chris Evans has been stealing our hearts for something like 2 decades now.
I think this could be the best thing to happen to all of you!
He's had a few voice acting roles, such as Casey Jones in the 2007 movie adaptation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But Buzz Lightyear is without a doubt the most notable of his animated characters.
This suit is a promise to the world that you, and you alone, will do one thing above all. Finish the mission, no matter the cost. You will never quit. Whatever the galaxy may throw your way, will you please turn that off?
If Evans' work as Captain America's anything to go by, we could have picked no one better to play the Buzz Lightyear.
To infinity.
Are you trying to get me to pull your finger?
Don't fall for it.
No, not like that.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.